our meetup. For as many that are online and also here, we welcome you, and we will just kickstart now. You can see this is recorded. It will be available after the session. So you're welcome once again. I hope we can see my screen. I will need to get that feedback. Kindly let us know if you can see my screen. If you drop the chat, of course, others will respond to that. Let us confirm in the chat that we can see my screen. All right. Now we want to quickly look at something, Microsoft Fabrics. During the build of Microsoft build, that was on the 23rd, last week, a new product was released called Microsoft Fabric. If you can see my slide, it is called a unified analytics solution, which is like everything comes under one single umbrella. And you'll be seeing this as we walk you through it. I'm going to move to the next slide right now. I've been introduced, so I wouldn't take too much time on this. I'll just move to the next slide. This is to appreciate our partners, people that have always been there supporting the community. So thank you, all the partners. Permit me to move to the next slide. All right, so introducing Microsoft Fabrics. There are some points on this slide. If you request or if you need this slide, it can be shared with us later. After this slide, we'll also see what we will go on a tour. Then after the tour, we will do just a small practice of what this is all about. So Microsoft Fabrics, that was just newly introduced. What is really the thing about it, all right? It's like an umbrella, just like I said, which unifies different things, data warehouse, data lake, data set, data flow, and everything. Now, if you can see the slide, it said it brings together best part of data mesh, data fabrics, data hub. There's what we call one lake. Now, data mesh, as just to say something, there's this 4 principle about data mesh. In case this is the first data mesh, rather, in case this is the first time you are hearing this, there is what we call ownership of the data. This is domain-driven ownership of data. Domain-driven ownership of data, or domain-driven data ownership. There's also data as a product. What does that mean? Data is actually the product, of course. Everything revolves around data. There's also the self-service part of data mesh. And there's, of course, governance, which is all about, there's no company that wants their data to just fly around. So there is that governance part, which, takes care of that not exposing. So there's data fabric and there's also data hub. So what Microsoft has done is Microsoft put all of these things together in a single place to make life very easy for everyone. So in case your business owners are wondering that I hope my data is safe, do not worry. There is the governance part that allows the data is saved. And one beautiful thing is that you can collaborate. You can collaborate. So I've moved to the next slide. And what you can see on the next slide is a single lake force foundation, meaning that one single thing that accommodates or that serves as a home for every other thing, data engineering too, for those engineering data guys or those engineers, okay, that they want to integrate data, you can do it on the same platform. For people that want to do machine learning on the same platform. Of course, data guy that want to visualize business intelligence, you want to automate, and you can see that security and governance for data safety. Now, I've moved to the next slide. Software as a service is being unified under data fabrics. From this image, you can see data factory, you can see Synapse data engineering, Synapse data science, warehouse, analytics, Power BI data activator, all in one place under the umbrella of Fabrics, Microsoft Fabrics. Now, the next slide is just to have some points in case you are wondering what is the meaning of integration. You can see it. What is the meaning of one lake? It also has this. What is the meaning of analytics? What is the meaning of business intelligence? And what about the data governance? All of these, we just put this point so that you have an understanding of what this really means. I'm moving to the next slide. Now, this is just a snippet of what we mean by data lake. In case you are wondering what is data lake, by the time we take the talk and we practicalize this, it will make sense. When you see the environment, you will understand, because if you are going to like use fabrics, you must do what we call, you must, let's say, create a workspace. When you create a workspace, then you would do what we call data lake. I mean, when you do the data lake, and you just see how it goes, how it's in sync. But if you can see my screen, which I believe you can, if you take a look to the right side, you will see build and implement an end-to-end lakehouse for your organization. And you can see, in case you're wondering that this is difficult, I hope this is not hard, this is, no, it is not in any way difficult. It's something that is easy to understand. Now, one of the first things you want to do is that you want to create workspace. In case this is still new to you, maybe you have not created workspace before, you are new to this, do not worry. We will do this together, right? But this is just for some of us that have an understanding before. This is just like the architecture. This is just like the flow, all right? One of the amazing things is that you can just imagine how beautiful this is. You writing SQL to query data coming from Excel. Like when I tested this of course I've not done it before, because I know that you can query SQL data, but now writing SQL to query Excel in data fabrics is amazing, like very amazing. Now, but this is just just for you to see what are the processes if I want to do something. And you can see you want to create workspace, then create a lake. After then, you want to get your data in and transform the data, right? You can see SQL, then connect your lakehouse using the SQL endpoint, then create Power BI report. You will see all of this in the same place. Another beautiful thing is that you can collaborate. Like we are in the same organization. I don't need to wait for my other colleague. Like I don't have to be done. We can at the same time work together in the same environment under the same umbrella. Now, in terms of data warehouse, what is it that we are talking about? So when you create data lake, don't worry if this is still sounding somehow, you will experience it and understand. When you create data lake, which is like under one lake, right? Automatically, data warehouse is created. As in, I'm amazingly smiling while I'm saying this to you. Meaning that when you create a one lake, Power BI, in that environment, right? Microsoft Fabric will create data warehouse for you. You get to see all of that. But in terms of data warehouse, you can see enable Microsoft Fabrics. In case you're also wondering, how will I be able to enable it? There is a trial version. It's still in beta mode. It has not been fully released, but I can guarantee you something. It is easier, it is friendlier, and it makes life very easy. If you have used Power BI desktop, or Power BI before, you will get to understand how beautiful this is. For people that are using Mac, before now, there's no Power BI desktop because of the Power Query side. The thing you would always do is to create a data flow so that you can now have Power Query experience in the cloud. But you can be on the cloud and do everything. You create measure in the cloud. Like you can write measure, calculations in that cloud. You can do your ETL in the cloud. You can create everything in that same place without having to say, I want to go back to desktop. Of course, you can still use desktop anyways, but I'm just saying with the experience with Microsoft Fabrics, you can just do everything in the cloud. Now, this is just to show the architecture for data warehouse again. Then for the data science guy, of course, what you're seeing on this image is just to show you what you need to do before you move to the next. So if you write Python, you write some things, you can do all of that in the same environment. Now, I move to the next one. real-time analysis. If you want to also do real-time analysis, what are the things required? Like I said, this can be made available if we all need it. It's just the step. What I want to do, number one, number two, and that will guide you. Now let's go through the talk. This page is just going to show us the talk, so I'm just going to click to navigate me to the browser. So let's just wait for it. Good. Now, Microsoft created this talk so that people understand the steps, all right? So what they are saying is data is the key. This is just to say, what am I going to do? Unify your data, create fit for purpose model, scale your business. This is just to show you the step of the talk. So I'm just going to click this to move to the next. Now, this is a kind of scenario which I think we all need to understand so that this can make sense. So thankfully, Microsoft Fabric gives, so it's just a scenario, right? So while this is loading, so that you can have a feel of how the environment is before we then go into the practical session. We believe that when you have this talk, when we go into the practical session, it will make a lot of sense to us. So while this is trying to load, just a moment, good. So this is, what you are seeing loading up is the environment. So just a moment. While we're waiting for that, you can see all your data in one location. Organize, collaborate, and create. Meaning that everything is in one place, one location. There is no wait until tomorrow. There is no, oh, Mr. Rashid, you want to work on this? Not until I'm done. No, we all can work together in one place. It's just going to show you the interface. So I think I should move to the next one. So while this is loading, I think maybe it could be because of internet. I guess I should just, we could come back to the talk. I guess we should just continue while this is loading. Just a moment. Let me minimize this. Let's move to the next on this. Good. Now, this is Microsoft Fabric's interface. When you log into the browser, and this is me logging into my browser, like into Power BI environment or into office.com, and I locate Power BI and it brought me here. I've enabled the trial. I'll talk about that, the trial version. So when I call on Microsoft Fabric, this is what we mean, that everything in one place. There is Power BI to do your report. There is Data Factory. There is Synapse engineering part. There is the data science, machine learning. You want to do a lot of things. There is data warehouse, and there is real-time analytics. This that you're seeing is the environment of Microsoft Fabric. Now, let's do the demo. Since the tour is not, let me escape and see if the tour we are trying to is loaded. It's still loading. So I think let's just go ahead and do the demo. So, good. Now, we're about to demonstrate this. I have logged into my Power BI environment. You can see good morning, Olajide, and you can also see this is Power BI environment. What do I need to do? The first thing is that in order to enable the free trial, it has not been fully released. It's still on trial mode. So Microsoft, or is still in beta, they are still going to release it. I'm sure they are still working on some things, but they release it first so that we can, explore it and be able to give them feedback on what is working well or what is not, or what needs to be adjusted. Now, I have enabled this. Of course, it will take an admin of your organization or someone that is an admin to enable this for you. So when that is enabled, you can enjoy 60 days. So you can say I've enabled mine about some days ago. So you can enjoy 60 days trial. Now, there is a data that I already have. Let me go check it, which is called sales. Okay, good. I have it here. Now, I will go to workspace or workspaces. I want to create a workspace. Then I'll click this one, new. Let me call this Niger Lake. Okay, let's just say Niger workspace. So Niger data platform. That's the workspace, and I will just say okay. Now I've created a workspace. So in this workspace, if I click this workspace, I've not added people. I could add a lot of people, right? But for the sake of demo, I'll just go and see I'm creating it like people are already there. I'll come to new. I could also go to this place, right? Where you're seeing Power BI. If I click on Power BI at the bottom left, you will see all the options that I have. There is data factory that you saw this on that image on the slide. There's data engineering, there's data science. I could also come through this place. My point is I could drop down under new. I will also see them. Now, if I click on show all, it will still bring me back to some of the things you just saw. Data engineering. So the data engineering guys, this is the part. There's data factory. If I scroll down, you see data science, you see data warehouse, you see Power BI, and you can see real-time analytics. Now, the first thing I will do is that I want to create a lakehouse. You can see it stores big data for cleaning, querying, reporting, and sharing. I'll click on lakehouse. So when I click on lakehouse, right, if you have not enabled this one, the trial, it will show that you cannot do what I'm about to do. So you need to enable the trial. In case you are trying to practice, if you do this, it's going to say buy subscription. So, but I've enabled this. So let's call this Niger Lakehouse. Niger Lake. Name must start with letter. Okay. So let's say Lake Niger. Good. Then I say okay. Now, lake house has been created. It's going to show shortly. Good. So depending where your data is coming from, you will still see, I'm just waiting for it to look good. So what you are seeing now is that I am in that environment for Lakehouse, but I name my Lakehouse Lake Niger. Now, some of us are not new to what we call data flow, but with the introduction of fabrics, there is new data flow called data flow Gen 2. All right. Before there is normal data flow. You can see pipeline, but what I want to demonstrate is just new. It's just a simple one. But there is also something beautiful they did. They call it shortcut. Shortcut, what does it mean? In case you are wondering, there's a shortcut here. It means that they can do a shortcut of your data from wherever it is without duplicating the data. It will just be like a shortcut, which will give you access to that data wherever it is, but without bringing it like directly into this. But just to simplify this, I'm not going through the experience. Now that I'm here, you see table, you can see successfully created SQL endpoint. You see the beautiful thing about this SQL endpoint. Now, I want to bring the data, which I show us, which is from this document, which is called sales. This is what I want to bring. The first thing is I'll go to file. If I click on this ellipsis, this 3 dots in front of file, I will see new shortcut. If I want to do a shortcut, I could do shortcut. If I want to do new subfolder, so I'll do new subfolder. Let me call this, permitting to call it data. Then I say okay. So by the time I say okay, you have a folder in the file called data. Now, what do I want to put in this data? I can see upload when I click on the ellipsis or the three dots. So if I put my cursor on upload, it's saying, am I uploading file or folder? Depending on what, but I want to upload a file. So something has opened to my right. There is a dialog box that has opened to my right saying, where is the file you want to upload? And you can see something like a folder like. So I click on this. This brings me to my laptop and I'm picking sales. This sales is CSV. There are some data that will not come directly, but this would of course follow me directly, or data source. Now sales is here. I'll click on upload, then it's uploaded. So by the time sales is done, remember sales is going to be in a subfolder that I've titled or named data. Now all I need to do is to say completed, then I step out of this, and that sales is expected to be here, but let me refresh. So let's see, good. So sales is here now. You can see sales.csv. Now, if I need to work on this, if I check the properties, right, you can see everything is styled to one leg dot Microsoft Fabrics. My point is in the one leg. Now, I want these sales to go somewhere, to go into my table. There is a file called table here. So I want you to see this. This is still in CSV. That's why I click on it. So it's going to look like CSV. So just a moment so that you see, but I want to convert this to a proper table, not just CSV. Still trying to load. I hope it's faster because it's not big. Okay, permit me to go back. Now, I want to load this to table. I actually wanted you to see it as CSV first, so that you can see that it's not yet a table. So all I need to do is to click on the ellipsis in front of sales and says load to table. So when I click load to table, it's picking the name that is there. You could change the name, but I'll just go with the name and say confirm. You can see to my top right corner, loading table in progress, loading sales data to data table courses. Now, the default data for this is Parquet. For people that understand that, they will understand what that means, but let's just wait while this is loading. I hope that my internet is fine. Good. If you see at the top, it's still loading. So that's why, okay, good. Table loaded successfully. Now you can see it here. If I click this now, you now see like a table. If I click now, just a moment. Good. If the one I wanted to click before that was taking time to load wouldn't have loaded this way. It would have loaded as a CSV that has comma separated. Now the table is this format. Then what do I want to do? All I need is that if you want to view, let me show something. View file. It's going to show two things. This is what I mean by Parquet. So the default type that comes into the fabrics is Parquet. That is the default mode. It's just for you to see. That's the view. But of course, our view has a table, and this is what we have. Then, what next do I want to do? Now that this is the table, if you look at my top right corner, there's Lakehouse, but there's a drop down. If I drop it down, you see SQL endpoint. If I click on SQL endpoint, what you are going to see now will amaze some of us, because it's just an environment where you can write SQL, where you can do Power Query, where you can create measure, where you can create Power BI report. Now, this is SQL endpoint. If you can look at the top, there is report. I'm not reporting now because I want to clean the data. I want to write select statements. I want to do some things. I could actually create a new measure, which you can use in your calculation. Now, if you look at the bottom left, you can see that I'm on data. Apologies for this. You can see query, you can see model, meaning that you can do your modeling, do everything here. Now, let's say I want to do some select statements. I'll go to new SQL query. If I click on new SQL query, I have an environment where I can do select statements. Let's just try something. Let's say select. Okay. I will have shown you the table. There are columns. All right. So there's a column called item. Item. Good. You can see. So the item comes. Then what do I want to? If I say item, of course, that's the only thing I will return if I run this. But I want to do something also, because if I'm selecting item from where, but before then, let me say I want to do summation. This is just to show something, right? So what do I want to sum? I want to sum, let's say, quantity times price, unit. Loading, but I'm not waiting for it. If you see this space is still loading. Unit price, then close the bracket. As maybe revenue, as total revenue, or revenue as revenue. From name of the table is sales. Group by what now? What can I group? I will have looked at the table. Don't mind. Group by. Okay, you know what? Let's just say, let's look at this one. Let me not group by anything. Oh, revenue. Quantity times unit price. Yeah, good. I'm just saying as. It's just an alias. So let's say I don't want to group by. Let me just run this, right? And say run. Okay, let me check quantity. I may need to look at the quantity. Okay, just a moment. Let me look at the data. Just a moment, it's loading. Okay, good. Just to be sure, let me take a look at the headers. So there's quantity, there's unit price. Oh, the unit price has no space. Good. So let's go back to the query. Let's run this. Quantity also. I hope there is no space. Okay, just a moment. Quantity. Okay. Select items. And then sum of this as this code from sales. Let's run this. Next, I expect error for this. Invalid unit price. Okay. Unit price. Okay. Just a moment. Let me type this again. Select item. Quantity, which is this, times expect unit price to show unit price good. When you do this, what I want to do next as revenue, expecting from good from item. Group this. I could go ahead group by let's I want to group by item. Group by item, then order by where should I order it by? Okay, by revenue, I think. Yes, by this revenue in descending order. So that should be fine. Yes. So hopefully this should work. The name. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'll just select anything. Maybe I will not select so this is item, which I think is correct, but let me just select something else. Let's just say select, right? I don't need this. Delete this. Select item. Oh, sorry, I'm selecting from sales. Sales, I think that's the reason for this. So this should be fine. Everything should be fine now. Good, everything is fine. So the name of the table is sales. Good. Now, my point is, the reason why I wrote this is just to show that you can query a table that is not even coming from SQL. You can do anything here. That's the thing. So I'm not going to save this. I just wanted to show. So that's the extent. You could write anything you want, but of course, based on there is no revenue at the column, so I just use as alias to just help me do that calculation so that we get that. So so that's what I've written. Now, if I want to do, let's say I want to do Power Query stuff, I could click on New Visual Query. So when I do this, Then I have this. It's not the same. If you take a look, there is SQL query and there is visual query. Now, to build a query, you need to drag the table. So I will drag this sales, drag now, and dump it here. Then you see the table that I want to query. So it's still trying to load. So I could write a measure. I could do anything I want. Just waiting for it to load. But while we do all of that we've been doing, things that I did not do, a lot of things that I didn't do, Microsoft Fabric did that for me. I don't even know the meaning of DB, in case you don't know. Of course, it's database. I'm just trying to say that there are a lot of things while you were doing this that Microsoft has done behind the scene. By the time we go back to the lake house, you will see that it has also automatically created what we call data warehouse. This is still loading. Just a moment. Shouldn't take this long. I hope the internet is fine. Okay, good. Now, you can see, let me not call this lineage, but remember, anyway, this is source, this is database, this is table. It's telling you the journey. You know, we created a lake before, then we say automatically when you do that, there's the data warehouse that is created. But this is the table, right? You can see manage, everything you want to do in Power Query can be done. If you take a look, we're in the query environment, right? Though we're in the lake, but we can do all of this. Let's say I want to remove some columns. Under manage columns, I could drop down. Can you see choose columns, go to column, remove that column. Let's say you want to remove rows, you can do all of that here. Keep this row, you want to sort, you want to transform. What can I do under transformation? I can group by this value, I can combine, merge and append, I can do that here. I can view as SQL. I mean, these are, let's say I want to do something, like let's say I want to choose column that I need. I could just go with choose columns. Then let me deselect all columns. Let's say I only need this and this. Then I say, okay. Now I have this. My point here is that you can do anything here. The same experience or even a better experience than what you have in Power Query. I'm not saying this, I'm just trying to say that I've explored it in a bit, they just released it, but the experience here is sweeter because it is easier. I could create a measure. That's one of, because I was wondering that, can I still write measure? Will I be able to do that? Of course, and I saw that I could actually add calculated measures. Now, let's say I want to, I'm not removing rows. You can see what I just did has been added. Now, let's say I want to transform. This is just to show. And let's say I want to group by. This group by, you always find it, of course, this is like Power Query environment. Let's say I want to group by order, right? And let's say the name is, please just permit me to write something, ABC. That's the name of the column or line order. Let me just say line item. Line item or line item. Then what kind of operation do I want to do? Let's say I want to count the extinct value and I want to count, yes. So if I say, okay, we get something. So whatever is coming back is based on what I have just done, all right? Especially call line items and this. So this is the experience we are talking about. Now, if I go to, I've shown the SQL endpoint where you can actually write SQL or select statement or anything. And I've just shown the Power Query experience. Now, if I click on model, if you take a look, I just click on model at the bottom left, but if you take a look at the top, you are seeing home, reporting, table tools, then you are seeing new query, you are seeing new measure. Now, let's say I want to, I'm not creating a report right now. I've shown query part, SQL select, I've shown Power Query aspect. The next thing I want to do is to create report, but I don't want to create report. I actually want to write a measure. So if I click on the measure, for instance, so it's trying to load and something will just show. You can see the formula bar is already showing. And to my right, I have the properties pane. Let's say this is just to show that I want to do a measure, right? Okay. Let's say this is, which we already have. Let me just say M quantity is just to show quantity. And that this is going to be sum of quantity. So I could just see SUM. Can you see the functions? All the DAX functions are already here. So what am I summing? I want to do, so I can put the square bracket to make it easy and call what I need, which is quantity. And if I say close, right, then I can just say enter. Then I have this measure created. I'll create just one more measures. Then I will load it so that we can just build a report. Now, this is being added. You can see is loading Lake Niger. So I'll do a new measure. So let's say new measure. Let's call this one let's call this total sales, right? Total sales. Oh, okay. Total sales. So let's say this total sales is sum of this and that, which is sum X. So I pick sum X. The table is sales, then comma. Then what do I need from it? I need quantity times unit price. Unit price. Then I close the bracket and press enter. This measure has also been added. So that is how beautiful, how lovely this is. If I scroll down, you already see, you can see the measures. Now, let's say that's all I'm trying to do. Everything is sorted. The next thing is I want to then create report. You can see new report at the top. You can see measure tools, table tools. You can explore this. And I just click on reporting, right? And I can just say new report. So if I click on new report, it's going to open another interface for me entirely, where I will have the Power BI table and I will see my canvas where I can then begin to create report. Just a moment. So it's loading. It will load the canvas now, and you have your visualization pane and the data pane by the side. Good. Then you can then visualize. Okay, you can see the measures I've created. My point is that the work is done. All you need to do is to now start visualizing. So let me just say I need item, right? And versus, it could be any of this. So I could say versus quantity, right? And we have something. You can visualize with anything of your choice. So if I go with this, then, so just to show, right? Just to show. So I'm sure we can all create report, but that's it. Now, if all I need to do is to save this. So let's say this is the report, everything is fine. So let me save this as Niger report. Report. Then I'm saving it in this workspace that I called this. Then I say save. So which I believe good. Report saved. So if I go back to my fabrics, I could close that. If I go back to my fabrics, right? If I go back to the workspace, this is the workspace. Take a look at what we have. So we only got data and created lake house called Niger Lake. On its own, there is SQL endpoint added, there is data set, and there is report. So this is one of the experiences we say when you use Microsoft Fabrics. If I've not used this route, if I've used another route, you will have seen that a data warehouse, because I will have created a flow or created what we call pipeline. So doing that, you just see data warehouse and all of that. So in order not to go through that long run because of time, so this is the magic of Microsoft Fabrics. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. At this point, if you have any question, please feel free to ask your question. If you have any question, please feel free. You can show a raise of hands. Microsoft Fabric is actually a new tool, and this tool is rapidly embraced in the analytical world. So you might be a data scientist, data engineer, so whatsoever or what you are, I just want to assure you that this is a one-stop solution for all of us in this industry. So I would like to encourage all of us. Mr. Lajidedu has actually explored, he has taken us through what we have there. We have the one lake, we have your Power BI, we have your data. Can you help me click on the icon, Power BI icon down there? Let's see everything come up. Power BI icon under more. There is a delay. So the tool for data scientists and for data engineers, we have everything up on the screen. Okay, as you can see on the screen, so we have your data warehouse, we have your Synapse data engineering, we have your data factory, we also have the data science and the stream analytics. We have all those tools right there. So it's a single platform where you can actually leverage on all these tools and come up with solutions that will stand the test of time. In those days, we refer Power BI, we call Power BI a self-service BI, and we call Synapse or MSBI an enterprise solution. But today, I want to tell you, Power BI is also an enterprise solution, end-to-end solution to any of your analytical task. So thank you very much, Mr. Gili. I don't think there's any question at the moment. So we'll be going straight to the second part of our presentation. So the second part of our presentation will be handled by Mr. Harry. So, Mr. Harry, are you there? So, he's here in the house with us. So, for those of us joining us virtually, I think you have seen him before. He has once presented on this platform before. So, Mr. Harry, are you ready? Okay. So, he will be talking about artificial. Our meeting today is from 12 to 2. So 2 onwards, we'll be done. So after that, and our program coordinator is going to tell us unfold the activity we have. Our usual annual event is coming up. So she's going to unfold those activities. So let's get prepared for that particular time. And for those of us in-house, after that, we go to menu. And those of us online, so just bear with us. Thank you very much. Mr. Harry, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Harry, you have the floor.
Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our platform. Today, about data, AI, and machine learning for 21st century businesses, SMEs especially. All right, so why have I chosen this topic? Um, Personally, I have a drive, I have a dream to, fully automate businesses, especially for SMEs within uh, sub-Saharan Africa and of course Nigeria. Uh, why actually formed, we actually created the company Resolutics, right? So Resolutics is an edtech business analytics company with special interest in data, AI, data science, data analytics, and of course business intelligence. All right. That being said, although the adoption of AI in Africa and Nigeria is quite nascent, uh, as compared to our foreign counterparts, those in the Western world, I'm quite emotional right now as I'm about to say this, because basically Resolutics was born because I saw a single, a very important, a very important lacuna in the space of data and AI, especially within Africa, right? And because of that, we created Resolutics to be able to bridge the gap in knowledge and technological applications uh, between Western world and of course Sub-Saharan Africa. So quickly, what are the benefits of AI or data to small and medium scale businesses, right? So the very first thing is that it helps you make informed decisions, right? My colleague here just finished talking about Microsoft Fabrics. And of course, Microsoft is also involved in other AI tools. An example is ChatGPT. And of course, this is one thing I usually tell people, or I usually tell companies I actually consult. If you keep the right amount of data, the right kind of data, you can ask the right kind of questions, and that will help you actually optimize your business process. I'll give you an example. So one time I was talking to this small business owner, and she was going to get hampers, Christmas hampers for a client. Apparently, at this time, she didn't have so much fund to actually fund this project. So basically, she was trying to see how she can cut costs, and of course, she had a reasonable amount of stuff she could get. Then she reached out to me and said, so I should help her pick something. And then I discovered how important it would have been for her to actually have data. Now, this was what happening. I asked her, so who patronizes you more? Because basically, she had hampers for male and then female, right? This was kind of gender specific, right? So after asking her this question, basically, she could not give me an answer. Basically, the question was, who patronizes you more? See, a question as simple as that, right? With the right application of data and the right application of AI, with a question as simple as that, you could actually optimize your process. Actually, you can actually know what to get, you can cut costs and of course maximize profit, right? Optimizing business process is another very important aspect of AI for small businesses. Yeah. So let's say, for example, very recently, one of the tools we are building at Resolute is basically, I was not supposed to just talk about it right now, but because I'm quite excited about the tool. Of course, we're building a platform, a tech education platform where, of course, you can come online to learn any skill you want to, be it tech or very soon we'll be talking about things like even shoemaking and the rest of it, right? Then other platform we are building is a imagine a situation where you're an SME owner, right? And you, of course, let's say you're going to approach an investor or you're going to approach, let's say, even a financial house, right? For, let's say, debt, loan, equity stake, funding. They'll ask you questions like, what are your financials? What are your numbers? Things like that. Now, if you've not kept your data over time, obviously you can't answer that kind of question. one other beautiful thing is if you don't have a competent accountant, it means that you wouldn't have been keeping your books, right? This is where we came in to actually solve that niche problem, because I discussed a lot of SMEs. Nobody keeps, most times they can't afford an accountant. See what AI has done. Now we can build an AI-enabled tool to actually solve the problem of not being able to hire an accountant. Let's say, for example, you don't have the money to pay. For example, on an average, let's say you want to hire an accountant, you're spending, say, the least you can actually hire an accountant in our country, Nigeria, would be around, say, 150,000 naira monthly, right? Now imagine a situation where you can now have an AI that will be an accountant for you, and then you can probably pay a subscription of, say, $20 monthly. See how much it must have saved you. So basically, it helps you save costs and help you maximize profit. And of course, we've moved into the era, of course, for us to understand the movement of the different eras we have, which is the industrial era, the information era, and now in the AI era, the data and AI era, right? We've moved into, we no longer value so much brick and mortar companies. Yeah? We want scalable companies. And what's the definition of scalable companies? A scalable company is a company, yeah, that's the cost of production, right, or the cost margin is very low, and of course the profit margin is high. All right. When your cost, for example, let's say it takes you about $10,000 to produce the food or produce a service, right? And then of course you sell that same service or that same product for, say, $100,000, right? See that the profit margin is about, say, $90,000. That's about 90%, right? If before now, the kind of era we were in, the kind of businesses that were run, right? Your cost would be around, say, that's a service, that's a product you're trying to sell, would be around, say, your profit margin would be around, say, 40% or 30%. But when you use AI to run your business processes, right, you will have optimized some processes that pretty much I'll even walk us through, one very, very funny story that happened recently. I was going to sign and prepare an NDA, and my lawyer was going to charge me a really good fee, right? And I smiled and I asked him, what if I do this stuff myself? So I went on and, I went straight, I talked about ChatGPT at the very beginning, right? I went straight to ChatGPT. There's a new form of these guys on the call, right? If you're thinking of coming into tech, yeah, and you're thinking for people like me that are very lazy, right? We like the lazy man's work, right? But we want to be very productive. ChatGPT will make you extremely productive. I have used that tool, and trust me, you don't want to know the phenomenal results I've gotten from there. So back to my story. My dad was going to charge me a very huge fee because he had moved out of the country. He was trying to charge me based off what's earning there in the UK, right? So when it gave me that bill, I went to my ChatGPT and I said, ChatGPT, write me an NDA to fulfill XYZ purpose. I was going to have this discussion with the finance company, and this is what I need. Give it a framework. Now, I said, if you want to get into tech, right, please, there's a new and very interesting role. It's actually not, most companies don't even know about it yet, but that's the future of work, right? Apart from data science, data analytics, and the rest, a new role has come up, which is called prompt engineering, right? Very soon, from my research, I've seen that, of course, over $1 billion, hundreds of billions of dollars are rolling into development of AI and data products. Yeah. That being said, because of these smart tools we are having, there will be an urgent need for prompt engineers. Mark my words, keep the date, call me a prophet. Basically, let me continue with my story. So I told ChatGPT, I gave it prompts. That's what prompt engineering is all about. I gave it specific prompts. If you're very good at using Google and Google Ad, if you know how to use Google search engine very well, it will come in very handy. Prompt engineering will come in very easy for you, right? So I told it, prepare this NDA, and I gave the prompt that I needed. Boom, and then it did exactly what a lawyer would have done for me. Right? That being said, What I'm trying to say is, I remember recently I was talking on the platform on Global AI Bootcamp, at Global AI Bootcamp, right? And when it was, someone really asked me, he said, so I talked extensively about actually how AI is taking away jobs. Yeah, like I said, we're working on a tool that is about to take away accountants for life, right? I've seen different platforms, ones that are taking lawyers away from for life, jobs, tools that are taking writers. In fact, right now, if you tell me you're a content writer, the very first thing that comes to my mind is, hey, hello guys. Hope you know there's something called ChatGPT. Hope you know there's something called bad. I'm sorry if you're not very careful, you'll be taken out of the community, you'll be taken out of the workforce. Recently, this is a personal story, right? Recently, I had an issue with banks, and there was this kind of investment I did, and it was really getting so tough for me to get my money back, right? So when I noticed the human factor in the whole process, something struck my mind. I said, I hope this guy knows that these guys that are actually making this stuff tough for me to get my money, I can actually replace all their jobs with just one single machine. That's the importance of AI. And during the lockdown, 2020 lockdown, it was recorded that Herbert Wigwe, who is the chairman of Access Bank, said he was going to cut half of the workforce, that's 50% of the workforce, and replace that 50% with AI. So many people call Elon Musk crazy when he actually let some product. Trust me, a lot of all these guys will still lose their jobs. That's the truth. Because daily, every day, I wake up to new updates, new products that are coming up. Just yesterday, I was talking to somewhat like a VC, right? And while we were talking, he opened his phone and showed me an AI. I'm like, wow, see what guys are building. So basically, all these guys are going to go out. Why am I talking about this? SMEs now need to actually wake up and focus on how to use AI to optimize their business processes. I am saying this because okay, now this is I don't know. I don't know how far this video is going to go, but I'm going to say it properly. A lot of people call me a racist, right? I have a personal hatred. I'm very careful with my words. I have a personal hatred for the way I see whites always advancing so fast, and then they give us. I feel just today when we got into the office, somebody made mention of how before they release any tool to Africa, it gets so used up in the other parts of the world. In my head, I'm like, so why don't we create communities where we can create these stuff and make it make sense, right? That's the other angle of Resolutics, where we are creating a platform to trade. Trust me, a lot is going to come up, right? As we unfold different products, different services, you begin to understand why I'm so passionate about this, right? We are trying to bridge the gap in, let me say it again, we're trying to bridge the gap in knowledge and technological application of data and AI products in Africa, and of course, to bridge that gap between Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, Nigeria especially, and of course, the Western world, right? So basically, it's my own, I wish for any SME that's here, any SME founder, any developer, if you know you are affiliated to an SME business, please let us begin to think in the line of optimizing business processes. I hope to see in Nigeria where our kids will play with drones. I hope to see in Nigeria or Africa where our business processes are so optimized that we don't even need so much human input, right? When we do this, let's not get worried as to how we're going to get feed. Don't worry, that's covered, right? But this is one question I get usually, which is, you talk so much about AI and data taking over our jobs, right? So I see a lot of people are scared, and they're like, so do you feel that AI products will become smarter? Do you feel that AI products will become smarter than humans? And of course, take away our jobs, yeah, and then And then, of course, what happens to the other guys? What happens to us? Right? Pardon me, I'm a little bit distracted. So basically, yeah, I tell people, so AI is not coming to take your job, right? Those who use AI effectively are the ones who will eventually take your jobs. I repeat, AI will not take your job. Those who use AI effectively, either for their business processes, for their to upgrade their skills and all of that, yeah, those are the people that will eventually take our jobs. I'm not just very as much as possible as SME owners, as startup founders to embrace AI because it has come to stay. I wouldn't want a situation where we are still lagging behind as a country in Africa and all of that. Right? If I have a minute, you could just play around with some prompts. Strategy. So just play around with some prompts on ChatGPT.
Can you log in?
Say again? No. Oh, I'll have to log in my Microsoft account.
Are you connected? Can you share your screen?
I'm on screen. I'm not connected.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
So what will happen is, let me just open Chrome for me. Or Edge, it's fine. Let's just try it out. I can have access here to find AI.
Your screen.
Yeah, open here.
Are you sharing your screen? Please share your screen.
Oh, okay. Just sign in. Just go to a minute, guys. Please, let's just go to OpenAI. Yeah. So we want to log on to openai.com because ChatGPT is just one aspect of OpenAI. OpenAI has about, of course, Microsoft is a very big investor. Their very first investment was about, I think, in the region of about $10 billion. Very first investment, they promised to do about $100 billion. That's to tell you how much is being set aside for AI. I really wish all SME owners will actually have their businesses running on AI. That's taking away human. Of course, AI thinks with logic, right? It's logic and thinking. What's it called? No emotions, no strings attached. So you can't say because, for example, as a data scientist, for example, let's just crack this little joke. Let's say, as a data analyst or data scientist, you can't say because they're just giving you breakfast. For example, you just have a hard brief. You now put that emotions into trying to analyze data and all of that. Yeah, you might lose sight of some things here, but AI just gives you, basically true logic. All right, so let's see if we log in. Another way you could use that is just go to your search bar and search for chat GPT. GPT stands for generative pre-trained transformers, right? So it makes use of natural language, right, to process information and then gives you report results based off that, based off the prompt, and that's why it's called prompt engineering. Oh, my screen is not being shared. All right. Please, guys, let me know if you can see my screen now. Hello, if you're on the call.
Yes, it's up.
All right, great. Who is excited about this particular what's it called again? This particular session. Who is excited about this particular session? Please, if you are, do show a hand, or you could unmute yourself and talk and tell me what you've learned so far and what's exciting about the session. I'm waiting. Please don't tell me nobody's excited. If nobody's excited, I will just stop right now.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Who's hi, please?
Yeah, it's me, Callistus. Thank you very, very much. This is a very, very super exciting session. And I'm so happy to be here. Prompt engineering is one big role, like you said, that is going to be trending in the days to come. It's already out there in the market, and this is a role that is paying as much as 175 to 335K per year. So it is the act of instructing an AI on what to do. There are trainings that are going currently on it, and it's just making everything so super easy for anyone. So I'll leave you to continue the session. I just want to say it's a very good one. I'm excited about it. So please carry on.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Callistus. God bless you for your kind words and kind response. God bless you. Any other person wants to talk? Just one more person before we continue. So I'm having issues logging on to my my account. You've just done a little bit of prompts. Okay. Will you guys give me a minute to log in to my own PC so that I can do a prompt? Just one or two prompts.
Okay, so you can quickly try to log in on your PC. So at this moment, let me see if I have a physical meetup hosted here. And we appreciate this. So let me quickly share one of their videos with audio. Where is my audio? Okay, include computer audio content. So let's get this up there. Please, I just hope this will play all over. Please confirm that. Okay.
Resolytics present, showcasing the best in data analytics. What data analysis does. It processes data from collection to analyzing insights in order to help minimize cost and maximize profit, identify trends, patterns, and develop the best strategy for brand growth. What we do. Data visualization, data analysis, consultancy service, and data management. Data visualization. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and data visualization can help identify trends and patterns that's hidden in a dense table of numbers. Provide corporate and individual training for tech-savvy individual or organization seeking employees' growth or flexible work routine. Consultancy service. At Resolytics, we provide consultancy services to corporate bodies to help you make better decisions and grow your business. Why go with Resolytics? By outsourcing data management services to us, you can leverage the benefits of cutting-edge technology and the expertise of our data specialists. We can comfortably handle diverse data management, including data entry, data capturing, data mining, web research, data cleansing, data validation, data abstraction, data analytics, including data collection, science, engineering. We also build C, R, M, and data collection systems. Contact us today. Let's resolve your business problems using data analysis. Thank you.
Yeah, Thank you very much. So, Mr. Harry, I hope your system is on the group meeting.
Please, let's confirm you can hear me, or you can see my screen.
Okay, yes, I can see your screen.
All right. So basically, I just logged on to ChatGPT. So we just want to do a bit of prompt here, right? Just let's do this way. I'll try out one prompt. Yeah. Afterwards, somebody on the group. And then we try that prompt. And then of course, another person will have to handle the call. Probably have one person share. How we have our computer. We probably have one person share his screen, right? And let's share start the prompt instead of recording your plan. So in the house, this problem is you guys so just do it on when you want to write a new song, you want to write a business process. Yeah, you don't use this to write a full on marketing plan. What is your strategy as a marketing process? When you do the and ask them, please, I need to come up with a marketing plan.
Hi, Deji. I think his voice is being muffled. We can't hear you, Harry. We can't hear you. The other aspect of products, that's basically for developers. Let's say you want to write and actually ask things like the so basically, there's what let me also just share this here. Where I got into my background is working from this. When I was going to I remember I started working with
Hi, Harry. Please, we can't hear you. It seems like you're far away and your voice is.
what I'm saying is obviously my dream was to get right now. Even before tools like Power BI, tools like Power Apps. I'm very sure we are familiar with that.
Hello,
Tools like
Harry.
tools like virtual agents.
Can you hear me?
Life so easy. I mean, I
We
can't
can't hear you.
imagine myself like I was in previous.
Harry, we can't hear you. You're very.
But basically, what I'm saying is, remember when I told you web development? Please confirm. I continue. Hello, guys.
Harry,
Yes,
you're very low.
we can't hear you.
I couldn't
Online.
hear everything you said. It wasn't audible, no.
Yes, but you're far off from your laptop. Your phone, your laptop.
You're far from the mic, so we can't even make sense of what you're saying.
Can you hear me, please?
From when you started, Harry, we have not heard you.
No, okay.
Hello, please confirm.
Yeah.
Hello, please confirm you can hear me. Can
Oh
anybody
yeah,
hear me?
yes, yes, Deji, I can hear you, but we couldn't hear Harry.
Okay, great. Okay. Harry, please, you can take over. Continue, Harry.
So guys, please confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, great.
ChatGPT.
So God bless you. So let's just do this little prompt. Let's say, for example, you want to run a marketing campaign, right? Let's say you are looking for a marketing strategy to market a particular product. Who has a product that would love us to come up with a marketing strategy for? Pick one.
Me.
Anybody on the call, on site,
Yes.
on the call?
Yes, I do.
That will help us form our prompts.
Can you hear me, Harry?
Who has a product or a
I-
company you want to find out? Let's try something out.
I have one. I have a new product, a new company dealing with natural soap.
Okay.
It needs with all kind of ingredients.
So let's take them down. Natural soap.
Yeah.
Natural, so it has natural ingredients. Organic ingredients. Okay, organic. So let's call it organic.
Yeah.
Right. So it's an organic soap company.
Yeah.
So basically, this is the company we want to run research for, right? So we want ChatGPT to give us a full-on marketing campaign strategy for this company, right? So what do? I said, right. Oh, let me put it this way. Come up with the marketing strategy for an organic soap company to come up with the best marketing strategy for an organic soap company in Lagos, Nigeria, right?
Yep.
Lagos, Nigeria. Now, ChatGPT is practically writing for us every step we should take. This is what you would have probably paid a marketing analyst or you pay a consultant for. Basically, ChatGPT has just done it for you. I remember one time I met this guy. I was trying to sell our service to him. I was trying to sell what we did to him, what we do rather, and then he was trying to write a proposal. His company, he could not listen to me because he had this project at hand. He needed to submit a proposal. So he was struggling to listen to me. I discovered that he was struggling to listen. I asked him what the problem was. And then he said that there's this proposal he has to submit that night. Apparently, we were talking at night. He had to submit that night. And he was, trying to, come up with what he should write. I told him simple, so give me exactly what you want to do. What's the proposal about? Who are you writing to? What's your company? Tell me your company story and everything. I use that to do prompt engineering. I just give ChatGPT some prompts and boom, voila. Within 60 seconds, ChatGPT threw back at us a very wonderful business proposal, and he sent it. By God's grace, he actually got the contract he was buying for, right? Basically by using ChatGPT. And what you just have to do, because of course, ChatGPT only has knowledge till 2021, right? But BARD has knowledge till recent time. So BARD is updated so BARD is the Google version of ChatGPT, right? It's updated till today, to that very day you're using it, right? So let's read this marketing strategy for an organic soap in Lagos, Nigeria. So as I said, first thing is you define your target audience, which is what's the normal thing you should do. You say begin by identifying your target market for organic soap in Lagos, Nigeria. Consider factors such as demographics. This is where you have to collect the right amount of data or the right kind of data. Lifestyle, purchasing behavior. For example, you might target health conscious individuals. Now you see, it's giving example of the kind of people you should even have as your target audience. So you should look for individuals that have health, who are health conscious, right? Probably those that are diabetic or who have skin conditions that they have to treat and all of that. And then say environmental conscious consumers or parents looking to save products for their children. So develop a strong, the next thing you should do after when you're done with that, Mr. Rashid, I hope you are taking notes. So you use this to market, right? So when you're done with that, you develop a strong brand identity. So create a brand that resonates with your target audience, right? Highlight the benefits of using organic soap, such as natural ingredients, eco-friendliness, and gentle. So it's giving you the kind of, let's say, for example, you're going to even market on, for those who understand search engine optimization. Let's say you're even creating a website for this kind of products. It's telling you the kind of keywords you use. You can see the suggestions given, right? It's a product differentiation, right? I like unique selling points of your organic soap. So you must know why you are unique, right? And emphasize your natural ingredients, right? Absence. So you can go on and on. Next thing saying you should have a strong online presence. You should go into influencer partnership. Probably looking, you might want to get to partner with a comedian, one of these. So it's giving you this kind of ideas. You want to partner with a comedian. You want to partner with a very popular person on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. All these kind of things you can actually now do. Next thing saying look for also local partnerships. That's you go to. So we're basically Mr. Rashid. We're basically giving you first answer. So the next thing you want to look when you're done doing influencer partnerships, look for local stores you could walk into, more like walking marketing and all of that, right? Then create educational content, right? So this educational content you can just create videos, of course. You can put on your social media handles. Then do something and try out and all of that. Basically, ChatGPT has finally just solved a serious business problem. If you follow the prompt, what it has told you to do, I'm very sure you'll be hitting the 6 figures very soon, Mr. Rashid. Thank you so much. All right.
Please copy this thing. Don't let this go.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Rashid said, please help me copy and send to me. Don't let this go. I need it. Okay, thank you very much. We sincerely appreciate this session. And I really want to thank all of us for staying this far. So at this point, I would like to invite our program manager to quickly give us, if you have questions, please feel free to drop your question on the chat. And I will hand over to the program manager to update us on our forthcoming conference events.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you once again for being with us today. I hope we enjoy our time, very valuable, very insightful, and very informative for me. I have a lot of key takeaways. So please drop your questions on the chat. We just want to let you know that you watch out for our next series that is coming up very soon. It's a 5-week series, and we are going to explore the new tool that Microsoft has just released, Microsoft Fabrics. I want to look in and out from beginners to pro, looking at all the applications that are embedded in this Microsoft Fabric. So you won't want to miss that. So please watch out for our next post on the Niger Data Platform user group. And in case you are not on the user group, please, you can drop your number on the chat so that you can be added to this group. So from all of us here, we want to say a very big thank you, and we want to say enjoy the rest of your weekend. And if you want to practice fabric, please drop your email. Am I correct? Yes, drop your email so that you can be profiled So you can start practicing before our next 5 weeks event program series. So please feel free to drop the first 20, right?
The first 20. Thank you very much. And please, for those of us that have been struggling to get your hands on Microsoft Fabric, so you can drop on our chats, on our WhatsApp chats, please just drop your email. So we're going to profile you. We have slots for maximum 15. We have slots for 15. First 15 to drop. We can profile you. Start to enjoy Fabric today for the next 60 days. And once we start the series, so no problem, you are still going to get yourself up and running. Okay, we have names already coming in. First 15, we are going to profile you so you can start to enjoy this. So if there's no other question, okay, so thank you very much. So Mr. Gide, from all of us, once again, we say big thank you. So we'll be drawing the curtain at this point. Okay, so on the group chat, we have a feedback form. Please help us click and fill the feedback form. So we want to appreciate our great hosts. So thank you very much, the managing partner, Mr. Harry, for hosting us today. So, and we strongly hope that we'll be, anytime we want to come around and use your facility, is open to all of us. And before we leave, let me see if I can move my laptop around to just see the faces. Can you, oh, it's dark. Okay, so can you say hi? Mr. Rashid, say hi.
It's better everybody on the video.
Okay, that is Mr. Paul Barnabas.
On your video, please.
Everybody, let's
on your video. Let's see your face. Let's see your video faces.
Let's capture the screen. If you are in a good position to put on your video, please do. Please do. Okay, I can see video coming. Oh. Okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So it's so painful that you must be part of the menu lesson.
You can slide.
Oh, I can see Callistos. Thank you. Dr. Bola, thank you. I can see Olumide, thank you. Sunday, wow, it's nice having all of you on. Thank you.
Mr. Callistos, I drove my car. Jessica drove. Where are you? I'm not seeing your face.
Okay. So
I'm right here.
So what's the name?
Rashid.
Wow.
Good to
Right
see you,
here.
Barnabas. Good to see you.
Awesome
Rashid.
session.
Well, yeah,
Oli,
welcome to the
Cheska,
physical
Barnabas,
gathering.
good to see you.
Well
So,
done.
Guys, Harry.
This is well. Say hi. Okay, so
Okay.
Coops, say hi.
I'm coming over for the item 7.
On the other side, Jide, say hi. Harry, say hi. Program director, thank you very much. So hold on. We want to have this screenshot. Please, everybody, put on your video.
Camera, please.
Put on your camera. Let's have a screen shot.
Everyone.
If you are still there, please put on your camera. Oh, camera is going off. What's going on?
Mr. Collins, on your camera.
Everybody put on your camera.
Oh,
Let's
no,
grab this moment.
I don't see your face.
Okay.
Somebody's driving.
Okay, Cheska.
Yeah.
You can see.
I can see Mr. Barnabas.
Hello, Barnabas. Kamadi. Hello, Barnabas. Hi.
So this is good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Mr.
Thank you. Cheska, good to see you. Thank you,
Good to
guys,
see
from
you
London,
too.
UK. God bless you all.
Good to see
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Bola Leonard, good to see you.
I've done the one I can.
Rashid, good to see you guys.
Deji, good to see you.
Deji.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Olive, God bless you guys all.
Hi.
Oga Callistus, I never see my visa for Japan. Oga Callistus, where is my visa now?
Jay.
Don't worry, we are packaging it.
So
We are
thank you
packaging
all.
it. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.